It's been a typical day during the wet season. It's not as though it was unexpected. This wet season was said to be hyperactive from the Meteorological Service, and obviously today was a fine example of that. Well, basically we have seen quite a few of the rain clouds coming through, especially across parts of Trinidad overnight and into this morning. In fact, as we went through this morning, we did see over 113 millimeters, which is just around half of the month's worth of rainfall falling in less than 24 hours. Now, obviously, the Caroni River is right now threateningly high. It is said to be near to overtopping. It's real or imminent as we go through the next 18 hours, which basically means with more rainfall expected and the high tide at midnight, those living around the Caroni River, and especially along the Caroni River basin along the east-west corridor, should be mindful of the possibility of the Caroni River breaking its banks. Now, meanwhile, just looking across much of the Eastern Caribbean, we'll just show you basically what happened in terms of those showers. We did see quite a bit of that coming through over the last 24 hours, and indeed the Caroni River obviously is a result of that. Currently, the rainfall total is now just around 170 millimeters, obviously just shy of the 250 that we usually expect. So looking at what's happening across the cloudiness across Trinidad and Tobago, a lot of the cloud has been going and coming over the last few days, and a lot of the rain is still expected to be in the area as we go overnight into tomorrow. So be mindful that we could definitely see a bit more in terms of the rain, and there is another tropical wave set to come through. It is now over the Guianas, and it should be pushing across into eastern parts of the Caribbean as we go through early tomorrow. So definitely look for a few more showers to come through, and this tropical wave will likely get a lift, a boost basically from the upper level winds, which will basically funnel a lot of the moisture into the region. So looking then out towards the rest of the island and into tonight, Tobago should be mostly cloudy with definitely showers coming and going, particularly around the hills. As we go into the early hours of Friday, you'll notice a bit more in terms of the rain, the showers coming through. One or two of those showers could likely be heavy or thundery, so be mindful about that. And there's also the possibility of a street or flash flooding in those low-lying areas of Tobago through tomorrow. Meanwhile, down towards the southern areas, definitely a lot of the rain will continue as we go overnight into tomorrow. Along the northern area as well, along the northern range, definitely expect some downpours, and obviously with the Caroni River threateningly high, any sort of rainfall coming through will likely add to that, and therefore for all of those of you along the east-west corridor, be mindful of the possibility of rivers, even the smaller ones, becoming high and definitely breaking their banks. So that's something to watch for as we go overnight into tomorrow. It will be a mild night, 24 degrees Celsius in Trinidad, 25 in Tobago, 30 will be the high tomorrow. Pleasant day, and we'll likely see definitely those pleasant conditions at least continuing for the first part of the weekend. Saturday and then onto Sunday, the ridge of high pressure takes charge and we'll be back into bright sunshine and fairer conditions. So after the rains of tomorrow, we should see a break for cleanup efforts as we go into the weekend. Now, for mariners heading out, you would notice also those winds coming in from the east-northeast. They should be raining around 15 knots, but it could gust to around 20 knots, particularly as we go over the next few days, especially as those offshore thunder showers come by. So waves of 1 meter through the Caribbean and getting up to 2 meters out in the Atlantic. And there will definitely be one or two of those showers coming off the Atlantic and pushing in to Friday. So be mindful about the Caroni River nearing overflow limit, and also be mindful that there is a riverine flooding now in effect from tonight and going into tomorrow morning.